Welcome back to Conveniently Unspoken, the channel that delves into the hidden narratives of history. In this episode, we explore the enigmatic events surrounding the Panic of 1837, a financial crisis that rocked the United States. Join us as we uncover the untold stories of the Rothschilds' involvement, the role of bankers and financiers, and the far-reaching consequences that followed. During the 1830s, the United States experienced a speculative boom, driven by rapid westward expansion, land speculation, and a surge in real estate prices. The development of new territories and the prospect of economic opportunities led to a speculative frenzy. Banks and financial institutions fueled the speculative boom by extending excessive credit and issuing large amounts of paper money without proper backing. This expansion of credit led to a false sense of wealth and contributed to overinvestment and risky lending practices. Historians would also argue that President Andrew Jackson was to blame. As we discussed in the previous video, Jackson believed that the bank concentrated too much power in the hands of a few and favored wealthy elites. As a result, the federal government withdrew its deposits from the second bank and deposited them into state-chartered banks, leading to the proliferation of these banks and a lack of central control over the nation's finances. In an attempt to control speculative practices and rampant land speculation, President Jackson also issued the Specie Circular in 1836. This policy required that public lands be purchased with gold or silver rather than paper money. As a result, credit tightened and land sales declined, contributing to a contraction in the economy. The speculative bubble burst in May 1837, triggering a wave of bank failures across the country. State-chartered banks, which held the federal deposits after the withdrawal from the second bank, were especially vulnerable. Banks and businesses collapsed, unemployment soared, and widespread economic hardship gripped the nation. The panic exposed the fragility of the American financial system and the consequences of speculative excess. The Second Bank of the United States, a significant player in American finance, faced criticism for its role in the crisis. Prominent financiers and wealthy individuals also played a part in the speculative frenzy. Their economic interests and connections to political figures raised questions about their influence on government policy and financial markets. President Martin Van Buren, who assumed office shortly before the panic, faced the daunting task of addressing the crisis. In an attempt to stabilize the situation, Van Buren proposed the divorce bill, which aimed to separate the federal government from the banking system. However, the bill was met with opposition and failed to provide immediate relief. Interestingly enough, around the same time in May of 1837, an ambitious young German called August Schoenberg arrived in New York en route to Havana via Paris and London. He was to become known as August Belmont, and he was to play a crucial role in the development of Rothschild business in the United States. August Belmont had worked his way up through the ranks of clerks in the Rothschild Bank in Frankfurt when he was sent to America aged 23 in 1837. The plan was for him to travel via New York to Havana to investigate how the Cuban economy and the various Rothschild interests there were being affected by the Spanish Civil War. However, he arrived in New York in the middle of a crash to find that the existing representatives of Rothschild, J.L. and S.I. Joseph and Company, had gone out of business. Using his own initiative, he set up an office in New York and began to act as the Rothschild agent there. Belmont's strategic partnerships and ties with European financiers, including the Rothschild family, would soon shape his legacy. August Belmont's ascent was closely intertwined with the Rothschild family's interests. His association with the Rothschilds provided him with access to vast resources and connections. As the Rothschilds held a commanding position in European finance, Belmont leveraged this relationship to enhance his own financial endeavors. In 1837, the news that Belmont had decided to remain in New York prompted Baron James de Rothschild to write, "He is a stupid young man. Such an ass needs to be kept on a short leash." Nonetheless, the Rothschilds quickly realized the importance of having an agent based in the growing North American market, and August Belmont was to become a great financier and politician. From 1837 to 1842, Belmont experienced instantaneous success, serving as disbursing agent, dividend collector, and newsgatherer for the Rothschilds and their customers. The new financial house also invested in foreign exchange markets, commercial and private loans, commercial paper, and handled deposits. Belmont's European connections attracted private investment from corporations, railroads, and state and local governments. In the wake of the Panic of 1837, Belmont was able to use Rothschild credit to buy up wildcat banknotes, securities, commodities, and property at severely depressed rates, sometimes as low as 10 cents to the dollar. Within 3 years of his arrival in the city, he had amassed a personal fortune of $100,000, $2,684,127 in 2021, making him one of the richest men in New York and one of the 3 most important private bankers in the United States. Belmont's astute business acumen led him to excel in various financial ventures. He established himself as a skilled financier and gained recognition for his role in underwriting government bonds during the Mexican-American War. His success paved the way for his entry into the world of banking and investment. In 1850, August Belmont founded the Belmont Banking Company, later known as August Belmont and Company. This financial institution played a pivotal role in shaping the American financial landscape, engaging in international trade, facilitating loans, and handling financial affairs for governments and corporations. August Belmont would go on to work with and influence financiers such as George Peabody, James Brown Potter, and most notably, J.P. Morgan. The Panic of 1837 had lasting effects on the American economy, leading to a prolonged depression that lasted until the mid-1840s. The crisis exposed the need for financial reforms and sparked debates about the role of government in the economy and the need for more stable financial institutions. Calls for financial reforms, including the establishment of a more robust banking system, gained momentum just a few short years after Jackson's triumphant victory over the Second National Bank. Financial crises lead to the devaluation of assets and properties, creating opportunities for investors with substantial capital to acquire valuable assets at lower prices. The Rothschilds' financial resources and connections allowed them to take advantage of distressed assets and invest strategically during the economic downturn. Since governments and businesses struggle with debt obligations, leading to potential defaults, entities like the Rothschilds, with their expertise in underwriting government bonds and managing debt, could have purchased distressed bonds or provided financial assistance to distressed entities, thereby gaining influence and control over their financial affairs. Because of that, the Panic of 1837 provided an opportunistic position for the Rothschild family to dig their financial claws into that of the American financial system further than they were able to with the First or Second National Bank. For example, during the American Civil War, August Belmont played a critical role in securing financial support for the Union cause. He acted as the primary agent for the Rothschilds in facilitating loans to the U.S. government. This collaboration was instrumental in ensuring that the Union could finance its war efforts, but also so that the Rothschild banking dynasty could control the growing United States money supply. Stay tuned, and we will dive deeper into this influence and other events in upcoming videos. The historical narratives surrounding the Rothschilds and their potential interactions with major financial events continue to intrigue researchers and historians. To explore more hidden histories and delve into the intricate world of international finance, join us at Conveniently Unspoken. Subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell, and embark on a journey of discovery. Thank you for tuning into this episode. And of course, always remember, the truth may be conveniently unspoken, but it's always worth seeking.